welcome. This is Rick Watson from RMW Commerce here, bringing you 2024 holiday season trends and recommendations. So I'm excited to be able to talk to you about this topic today. Let's dive in. First thing is, what are the trends affecting e-commerce in 2024 that I think will carry through the holiday? Number one is cheap consumers. Consumers are being stretched, and you being able to serve them will be able to have a big effect on your holiday season. Second is the growth in social shopping. Consumers want to be inspired and educated. And third is margin compression. This is obviously for you merchants in the audience, and so something to keep track of. Trend number one, for the consumer. Obviously, we've seen a huge rise in companies like Shein and Temu with what's affecting consumers and how cheap they are. If you look at the effect of rising inflations and worries about finances, this has affected across generations. This is trends from a recent Jungle Scout report in Q2 2024. And so bringing you this data will help you keep in mind that the consumer isn't going to be less stressed this holiday season. They're going to want to stretch their dollar farther. So that's going to be important to keep in mind. Second is the rise in social shopping. Just 5 years ago, a lot of people were having conversations about, is social shopping going to be a thing in the West like it is in China and some of the Asian countries? Well, that has come to pass very quickly in the past couple of years. TikTok in particular has been a very successful channel, second to YouTube here. And that's actually had some impact on Amazon as a first search destination. This is one of the first times in the past 15 years that we've actually seen people who begin searches on Amazon has declined in the last year or so. This never happens. And so this is a huge trend to keep track of, in that especially the younger generation of consumer is turning to social shopping for this inspiration that they're being part of. The third trend that I wanted to highlight today is actually margin compression. AOVs and gross margins across merchants and retailers are slightly down year over year. And this is due to rising cost of labor. Wholesale prices are still up. If you look at, a lot of economists are very fond of saying that inflation is slowing, without mentioning the fact that over the last 3 years, it's not like if inflation has gone down to pre-pandemic levels. It's still up on a huge 3-year stack against that. And so retailers and brands, their margins are being compressed. And I think this means this is a big impact on holiday season plannings. Finally, what does this mean for you in terms of the holidays? I think there are really 3 takeaway messages that I have for you in the holiday season this year. First, be able to stretch their dollar. Consumers appreciate when brands and retailers looking out for them. As you look at your site messaging and your promotions, make sure that you realize consumers are trying to figure out, like, how can I make this? So helping consumers stretch their dollar. Second is bundling. The more you can bundle your products and ensure that you have the complete package of solutions and features, more likely to purchase with you than your competition. And finally, especially given the rise of social shopping, don't forget that things are beyond your website. Consumers are likely to make a decision far earlier than by the time they get to your website, by the time they land on your website. People want to see their friends sharing inspiration for gifts, and that really comes from social shopping. And I can obviously purchase that directly on TikTok or YouTube. They might end up purchasing on your website, but the reality is social commerce is about getting the consumer in the shopping mindset while they're browsing their social feed. And for that, they're looking for inspiration. And if you're able to provide that to them in an entertaining way, then you're going to get their dollar more than others. And so these are the key messages that I wanted to give to you today from RMW Commerce. And I'm happy to be able to provide this along with my recommendations.